Our nightly segment now, The Bottom Line. The housing market, of course, is where the financial crisis started, and new numbers that we are now nowhere near the end. According to a report by real estate firm First American CoreLogic, 1 out of every 5 homeowners with a mortgage is now underwater. 1 out of 5. That's a term that means they owe more to their lenders than their properties are even worth. In Nevada, almost 50% of homeowners face this problem. And even scarier, some experts are now saying once the housing market hits bottom, a whopping 40% of all U.S. homeowners could be drowning. With us now is Dani Babb, a real estate analyst and author of The Accidental Landlord. Good to see you, Dani.
You too.
Those numbers are really frightening.
They are, but we have to keep it in perspective, and that is that the most number of homes that are underwater are in states that have the highest number of foreclosures. Nationwide, about 1 in every 475 homes is in foreclosure. But in Nevada, where we have 50% of homes underwater, that's 1 in 80, about 6 times the national average. So the numbers actually make sense. We just have to stop the rate of foreclosure.
Well, how do you do that?
Well, yeah, that's the million-dollar question. First of all, what we need to do is modify loans between the lender and the buyer. Keep the government out of it. We already know that the HOPE program is not exactly being successful. The other thing that we need to do is allow people to basically appraise their homes with an independent appraiser so that they can actually get an accurate value out of their home.
Government intervention will not work, you said.
No. Heck no, absolutely no. If we look at, Fox Business reported this last week, right, that 1 million homeowners were estimated to be able to have assistance from the HOPE program. But we actually know that that number was less than 100 people had any assistance whatsoever. We need to keep the government out of it and let the lenders and the homeowners that both have a stake in keeping the home work it out.
I guess you can hold and rent if you can work that out, but are the renters out there, you know?
Yeah, they are out there. You have to get a little creative. You know, for example, your mortgage may be $2,000 a month and the rental comp may be $1,000. Bring 2 renters in and rent out 2 bedrooms, for example, separately, and get a little creative with how you're renting out.
Be a little creative with how you're renting out. Are there other options for people? Is there some relatively unknown place that people can go who find themselves in this hole?
Well, they can move to Texas, where the homes have been relatively stable, home prices. But we have to remember that as boomers begin to retire, a lot of these areas that were heavily investor driven are going to actually increase in value. Florida, Nevada, Arizona, any of the Sun Belt states, we're going to start to see them improve. So this is not a long-term thing. We just need to, or short-term thing. We need to think very long-term about this.
Because what happens is those boomers move to the new residences permanently, but then they're leaving their old ones behind.
Right, but they're leaving them in states that are actually doing fairly well and holding up through the market.
Right on. I got it.
Yeah.
Dani, great to see you. Thank you.
You too. Thanks.
And that's The Bottom Line.